going to be sitting by the pool all day. And sometimes this works, and most of the time this works. I have had this happen where it has not really worked, but most of the time it works. That if you give, especially in other countries, all you got to do is give like a $10 bill or something like that. If you're feeling overly generous, a $20 bill. I wouldn't go less than 10, maybe a 5, but I don't know. I definitely wouldn't go less than 10. Give your server a $10 bill at the start of the day. They will be at your beck and call. They will be falling all over themselves to try and get you more drinks for hopes of another tip. Now, whether you choose to give another tip or not is up to you. Most of the time, I do not give another tip because I figure that's enough tip for the day. And they don't really get tips, honestly. So anything extra is, good for them. So there's a little tip for you if you are going to one of these all-inclusives, even if it's not an all-inclusive. When we have our big Christmas parade here every year, and we often go to my favorite spot on the island, the Porthole, to hang out and get drinks while the parade is going on. It's the craziest, busiest day of the year, and you can barely get to the bar, let alone sit at the bar. I mean, it's definitely standing room only in this place. So I always try to give a big tip as soon as I get there, so that they know, they're gonna get a tip from me. We are pretty generous tippers when it comes to certain places, and that's one of the places that we are a generous tipper. Not every time we go, but often enough that we still get a little bit of preferential treatment, more so than non-locals. We don't go out as much as we used to because the house and all that kind of stuff. But they remember us. We have been ingrained on their brain. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but it is what it is. So, so you know how much money you are spending in an all-inclusive. And, if your goal is to just sit by the pool, soak in the sun, and have some strawberry daiquiris throughout the day, you're probably best to go with an all-inclusive. But if the quality of your meals is the important thing to you, then you're probably not going to want to go with an all-inclusive. Now, the obvious huge downside to not going with an all-inclusive is the costs can get so out of hand, especially when there are drinks added in. So I wanted to hear from you. I probably will stick with the all-inclusive. The meals aren't that big of a deal to me. I'm not really focusing on the meals. I can get world-class food wherever I go. If I went to Europe or something, that would be different. I don't think they have all-inclusive deals in Europe, honestly. I've never explored it. Soon, hopefully. But, there you obviously, the food will be one of your top priorities when you're taking a tour of Europe. So then that's different. But if I'm just going to a tropical island, my main focus is hanging by the pool and having some strawberry daiquiris all day long. I remember when we went to the Dominican Republic, we had forgotten, me and my friend Leslie had roomed together. And, all they kept talking about is don't drink the water, don't drink the water, don't drink the water. So they had a fridge with like all of these, sodas and bottles of water. And, they would restock them every day for us. So the first couple of days, we were making coffee in the coffee pot in the room with tap water, not thinking anything of it. And it came up somehow one day, and the other people that we were there with were like, what? You can't use tap water for your coffee. You're going to get sick. They're like, oh, we're like, oh my gosh, you're right. We didn't even think about that. So we used tap water or the bottled water the next day. Coffee was just so not as good. It was not even close to being as good as it was from the tap. I did get sick one day when I was in the DR. I kind of thought it was the beer that I was drinking. But I was out. I was down for a good 3/4 of a day. I remember it was the day that a lot of people had gotten there because a lot of people went. It was for a destination wedding. A lot of people went for 4 days. I went with the bride and her family, and we went for 7 days. And the day that I got sick was the day that most people were getting there. And they're all like, come on, come on. I'm like, no, I got to stay here and nap. I'm like, I feel awful. But it was just the one day, so that was good. It was about halfway through the trip. So do keep all of that in mind if you are going to some of these more exotic locations. So Carolyn says that when she is choosing, she would like to choose rather than do an all-inclusive. She says, we often hit the grocery store and get fruit and easy-to-eat stuff. I get bored in too many restaurants. There you go. And that's what I did. And, I didn't have an option of an all-inclusive, obviously. But when I went to my conference in November in South Carolina, I was in, where was I? Charleston. And I was going to be spending 4 days in the hotel. And I needed to cut costs. So I went to Walmart my first day there, and I got breakfast items, and I got lunch items. I got bread and lunch meat and condiments and some fruit and some chips and stuff like that. And then I was hoping to go out to get some of the local flavor for dinner, but that never ended up really panning out. We ran really late one night, and another night, I was just tired. I went to like a happy hour thing, and then by the time I was done, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home and make myself another turkey sandwich and go to bed, and that's what I did. So Kate says, depends on where I'm going. I've done both. If I'm going to an island, then all-inclusive, but checking out a new city, I want to pick and choose, right? Jim Bell says, all-inclusive. I don't know why I just said his last name. I was just, reading. All-inclusive. I like knowing the vacation costs this much and then not have to put out another how much more for food and drinks. Diane says all-inclusive is great. Marcy says I like to do my own thing. And Michelle says all-inclusive. The fewer decisions I have to make, the better, which is kind of funny. But, yeah, that's part of it, too. It's like, all right, where do you want to eat? All right, we got to find a place to eat. All right, what's going on? Like, it's a kind of a cause of some stress. You don't want that on vacation. That's the last thing you want on vacation, right? So thank you for your responses. I do appreciate them. I'm going to move along to the blog post, which is titled Today, Keep Looking Forward. We are we are more than halfway through February, but this is the time of year where time stands still. The days of winter seem to last so much longer than the rest of the year, unless you have a fabulous vacation planned, as we were just discussing. We still have a way to go before the weather gets warmer and we can really take advantage of being outside. The time to indulge in some outside activities still seems a long way off, even though we have been blessed here at the Jersey Shore with a mild winter so far, knock on wood. There are times when the sun is shining just right into the house or onto our enclosed porch, and it reminds me that the best of the year is still ahead of us. There's so much to look forward to, and that is my focus right now. I'm not saying you shouldn't be enjoying your days and weeks now, but I'm sure the best is yet to come for me anyway. I thrive in the warm weather. I love to be outside. I love doing outside activities. I love to sit and read in the sun or just hang on the deck and watch the boats go by since I still don't have one. There are things to enjoy in the here and now that we can take advantage of, but in my opinion, the best is yet to come. So this is a great time to do some binge watching, that is, and not even feel guilty about it. I mean, what else is there to do, right? Unless you like winter sports. And really, I just never got those people. Stay outside in the cold on purpose? Sounds crazy to me, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Boats. Anyway, we have been discovering some new series, and the entertainment abounds. I've been catching up on some movies and, of course, doing a lot of reading, which I do all times of the year. I also try to get together with friends or attend some gatherings. There are things that can put a little shot into your winter doldrums. As I mentioned, I met a friend for coffee yesterday. As I was driving over the bridge to LBI, the sun was shining down. The water looked sparkly and amazing, and it reminded me that spring and summer is on the way. On the way. So much to look forward to. But in the meantime, coffee. She told me about some new social groups on Facebook in the area. I filled out the questionnaire, have yet to be approved. What's up with that? What's up with that? Maybe I don't want to be in your stupid group. Maybe I want to go back and take back my application. It's an application. Real life application. And I have yet to be approved. Whatever. But I'm always up for a gathering. Said friend told me about her trip to a tropical island next week, made me jealous. But my time is coming, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We don't have any vacation plans lined up, but we live in a resort area. So once the warm weather hits, it's like being on vacation every day. So I'm looking forward to those days, the days when I can sit outside all day, bask in the glorious sun. I know I'm not supposed to sit in the sun, but I love it. We do have a lot of winter left to get through, though, so go ahead. Do some binge watching. Be careful, though. Don't fall into the trap I've fallen into before. The rut of doing nothing but watching TV. That's not good. There are still all kinds of things you can do in the winter that doesn't involve watching TV, like gathering with friends. I have the group of my neighborhood has different types of gatherings. I have game night once a month. I have 3 different book clubs I'm part of. I had toyed with the idea of starting a craft club. One of my friends on Facebook is part of a monthly craft group, and it looks like fun. And you get to take cool stuff home with you. I haven't started it yet, but I've been mulling it over. I don't necessarily want to be the one in charge of these groups, but I think I would have to be for that one. So when I was in my early 30s, I was in a group of friends that met twice a week to play pool. If you've been listening to a while, you've heard me talk about this. It was at a bar. We met at happy hour. We had some fun and still got home and plenty of time for bed. We met Tuesdays and Thursdays. It was really something to look forward to throughout the week, you know? Everybody looks forward to the weekends, but I looked forward to Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. How cool is that? Now I'm meeting people out for coffee dates, and that's okay. It's different than it used to be, but still fun. Things change as we get older, so try to remember to enjoy every moment as it happens. It won't always be this way, and that's okay, but it's fun to look back on, right? There is no denying I love the warmer weather the most, so I'm looking forward. You look forward to whatever's most fun for you, most exciting for you. There is still a lot to appreciate and enjoy about each and every day and to be grateful for. Don't forget the gratitude. But I know things will be much more exciting when the warm weather hits. Things can't be over the top exciting all the time, unfortunately, but we can enjoy moments wherever we are in our lives. Be grateful for the small things. Do more things that you love. Embrace your friends and family. Make sure to spend time with them. Sometimes it feels like work to get a little enjoyment. I know, I've been there. I feel it. Do it anyway. It's worth it. And it gives you something to look forward to. People, it is Taco Tuesday already. A lot of people had off yesterday, so it's a short week. I kept forgetting that it was a holiday. I'm like, why is nobody on social media? Why is everybody getting back to me on Words with Friends? What is going on? I'm like, oh, yes, it's a holiday. So we're already ahead of the game. Figure out some things you can do in the next 2 months that will make life a little more enjoyable and exciting right now. Or just be okay with sitting around recharging. Or best case scenario, mix it up. Hopefully you will be doing at least one thing per week. I suggest much more, but at least one thing per week that you really look forward to. Now go have a Tuesday, make it fabulous, and make today your best day yet.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Now that National Random Acts of Kindness Day is over, I think I'm going to have to get on your case, Ellen, and let you know you're not always kind. You're kind of mean. You're kind of mean. Stop scaring people. People don't like that.